We began the last episode with 2 games in hand over Manchester United at the top of the Premier League table, but with a depleted squad thanks to international call-ups and injuries, we only picked up 1 point in games against Chelsea and Arsenal. And now, our squad has been further depleted because we've got more injuries added to the list. We could even lose 1 or 2 players because it's transfer deadline day. The only good thing about it is we've still got time to get a couple of new faces through the door. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 29 of a Selhurst Success Story and a transfer deadline day that could be the difference between us pushing on and winning the Premier League title or completely throwing it away, because we've got interest in quite a few of our players. We've got injuries. If we just look at the squad quickly, Mark Gurhey is on international duty still. Adam Karabek's still injured. We added Cody Gakpo to the list of injuries in the last episode, and we're struggling really. Some of the players needed a rest before, so they've been rested. I've had to call Sekumara and Adlan Escamento back from their loans just in case we don't manage to get enough players through the door in today's episode. One match since the last episode, we beat West Ham United Eberechi Eze, if I can say it properly. He beat West Ham 5-1 because he scored every single one of our goals, all in the first half. He was absolutely wonderful, actually. The rest of the players didn't really do that well. Akali only got a 6.5, Camavinga a 6.6, Mansverk a 6.6, Kaiki a 6.5, Renan a 6.6. Wasn't exactly the greatest performance in the world, but Eze was the difference. Scored all 5 goals, and we won 5-1. So that means that we are still 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, but we've all played 24 games now. We're 6 points ahead of United, 9 points ahead of Liverpool, 10 ahead of Tottenham, and 12 ahead of Chelsea. So it's by no means a foregone conclusion that we're even going to finish in the top 4. There's still 14 games left this season, and we're up against it, really. If we lose a couple of players in this transfer window, because there are players that I have to accept offers for if a certain amount comes in. So if we lose a couple of players on deadline day, we get any more injuries and stuff, and fail to bring players in, we are going to be up against it. I've tried to bring in a couple of players, but I just can't seem to get offers accepted. Everyone wants so much money. And we haven't really got that much. We've got Renan, who could be on his way to Bayern Munich. I'm basically waiting to see if that goes through before I decide what to do. I've had an offer for Marcus Senesi from Inter Milan accepted for £40 million. So I'm going to start the negotiations there. He will come in, if we just have a look at him quickly, he will come in as the ball-playing defender to replace Renan if Renan does go out the door. He's 27 years old, 1 cap for Argentina, currently playing at Inter, 7.44 in 7 league appearances so far this season, 6 foot. He's got really good, there's a good range there. He hasn't been fully scouted. I don't have time to fully scout him. So I'm going to go and do those contract negotiations. Hope that we can get him through the door and see if I can find another couple of players to put in some offers for. This day is not going to plan. We have 4 hours left of the transfer window and I haven't made a single sign-in yet. We've lost Renan to Bayern Munich. Adlan Escamento has gone back out on loan because he wanted to go back out on loan. I've had bids rejected. I've had bids accepted. Talks have broke down a few times. We were just on the verge of signing we had met his release clause. As you said, I've had to reject bids for Eddie Nketiah because they weren't enough, and Mauro Icardi. Players coming in. I tried to get Rodrigo. That was rejected. Marcos Senesi has accepted our contract offer, but we don't have the money to pay for him, so I've had to delay it. We just had talks with a wonder kid from Barcelona, Alarcon, £18.5 million release clause. I met it, but he wanted, or the agent wanted, like 140 grand a week after like 10 games or something like that, something silly. I tried to negotiate and the agent just walked straight away. So we're going to miss out on him as well. And I don't think we're going to be able to add to the squad. I'm going to look at loan options because we've only got 4 hours left. So I'm going to try and loan in a couple of players just to try and make sure that we can actually put out a full strength squad or a full squad for the remainder of the season. Because as it stands, we're top of the Premier League table. We are pushing, like, we're competing in every competition and we can't get any new players through the bloody door. The transfer deadline has passed and the Marcos Senesi transfer was cancelled due to the fact that I didn't have enough money to get him through the door. The board wouldn't allow me to sign him. I tried to do board negotiations. They weren't having none of it. So I had to change direction. Possibly a couple of panic signings, to be fair, but we have brought in Roberto Firmino. I don't normally sign players over the age of about 29-30, but he was available for £5.5 million. He's agreed to come in as an impact sub. He can play up front, all along those attacking positions. He's still got some decent stats considering he's 33 years old. Natural fitness of 17 means that he should manage to stay quite fit. He hasn't played that well this season, but as an impact sub, he might be okay. And the other one, Jonathan Tah from Juventus, has come in on loan. I needed another defender. I've lost Renan. I needed another defender. Senesi weren't, like, it was cancelled. He agreed and everything, but it was cancelled. So I've brought in Jonathan Tah from Juventus on loan. He's only a 3-star current. His contract does expire at the end of this season, so we'll see how he goes with us. And if he plays all right for a couple of weeks, I might, or a month or so, I might actually offer him something permanent for the end of the season. But that wraps up our transfer deadline day. We lost Renan. We brought in a couple of players. But we've got an actual football match to go and play now. Right, the team to take on Tottenham Hotspur is Lafont in goal, Livramento, Anderson, Tah making his debut, Mitchell, McTominay, Camavinga, Elise, Eze, Klozek and Alvarez. I've moved Klozek back to the left. His star rating's better on the left-hand side. All right, he is our top scorer for this season. But I've still got Cody Gakpo injured. We haven't got that many options on the wings. I could put Eze out there, but Eze scored 5 goals in his last game from the shadow striker role, so I'm going to keep him there for the time being. So it was either play a Spreer out on the left with Klozek up front, or Klozek on the left with Alvarez up front. So I thought I'd go with a second option and see if that works. Jonathan Tah lacking in match sharpness, but hopefully he can get through most of the game. We get the orange line when Anderson and Kaiki play together, so I think the orange is bad. We want green. If it's not green, I'd rather have no line there. But we lost to Tottenham away earlier on in the season. Hopefully we can get a little bit of revenge and continue our run towards the title. There's Livramento back to McTominay, who finds Eze. Eze cuts it back, McTominay. Livramento is cut inside, goes back to McTominay. Gets a cross in. Camavinga is headed straight into the arms of Livakovic, our former number one and former captain, or vice captain. Former vice captain, wasn't he? There's Anderson to McTominay, who finds Klozek on the left. Eze, Alvarez, one-on-one with the keeper, and it's saved. Good save from Livakovic. Out for a corner. Elise to swing it in, left-footed. Over everyone. Joachim Anderson committed a foul. We've started off the brighter side here. We are definitely the more attacking of the two, but all the time the score's 0-0. There's a chance that they go and score the first goal of the game, and this is what they're going to hope to do now. Good build-up play from the back. Skip plays a ball over to Son, who finds Berg. His cross, and Darwin Nunez, 1-0. Defending was awful again, really, wasn't it? Just no marking. He's just standing there, unmarked. No one on him. The issue I've got is that the better defenders in the game cost an absolute fortune, and I don't have that much money. We've already got quite a bit on the on transfer debt. The board are not letting me spend hardly anything. As you could see in that transfer deadline day, this transfer window, I've not been able to bring in anyone. I've just struggling through with players being injured and stuff. Here's Elise to McTominay. Camavinga, Eze, Alvarez, Klozek, Livramento. Gets a cross in. Adam Klozek and heads it wide. Our first 11 is quite strong. We do make mistakes at the back. I mean, our best defenders are 3-star current ability. I don't always go on star rating, and there are some decent performances there, but there are a lot of mistakes and a lot of poor performances from our defenders as well. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes this second half, and then I'm going to change things around, I think. We've had more shots on target and a higher XG, but we're losing. And if we lose this game, then we're still only 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, but United will then have a game in hand on us. And we're trying really, really hard to throw away a title. We had the chance to increase our lead to like 11 points. Eze has broke through, and Ebery Eze scored 5 goals against West Ham, and now he scored against Tottenham. He definitely suits that shadow striker role. He's a perfect example, though, of a player whose star rating isn't that great, but constantly puts in really good performances, and that is a lovely finish. I'm gonna move Adam Klozek and Julian Alvarez around, and then I'm going to bring on Firmino to play up front. Alvarez doesn't seem to be playing that well up front at the minute, so I'll bring Firmino on. Klozek not having the greatest of games and looks a bit knackered, to be fair, so we'll give Firmino his debut, see what he can do. Well, when the ball goes out of play, so that we can actually make the substitution, that is. Tottenham playing some good football here. If we don't win back possession, they're going to score. There you go, told you. Again, the defence just capitulates. We don't even make a tackle. We just stood off. Good ball over. Joachim Anderson just having a little stroll. Jonathan Tarr, the new man, turns and has a look and watches the ball go in the back of the net. Got some encouragement, change to attacking. Alvarez's cross. Elise, what are you doing? Mitchell's throw to Alvarez. Mitchell, ball over the top. Roberto Firmino cuts it back to Alvarez, who goes inside to Camavinga, and Camavinga just passes it to their defender. All the way back to our keeper. Camavinga, Julian Alvarez. Yes! Julian Alvarez with his 12th goal of the season, it says there. 89 plus minutes. Great finish. Camavinga, who gave the ball to the defender a minute ago, played the nice little pass there, and Alvarez gets just inside the area and smashes the ball home, and it's 2-2. Still not going to be happy with a draw. But it's better than a defeat. We've got a 7-point lead at the top of the table as it stands. Liverpool, Tottenham, both 3 points back on United. Right, a couple of days since the Tottenham game, and Edin Nketiah has handed in a formal transfer request, which I've accepted. He wanted to go out on loan. I'd promised him that I'd try and get him out on loan. I offered him out on loan. No one wanted to take him on loan. So he's kicked off, and he said that he reckons he could get interest in him if he's on the transfer list. So he wants to go on the transfer list, so I've let him. Mauro Icardi is off, hopefully. I've accepted a £9 million bid from Rosario Central. If you look at his stats for us, we signed him for £4 million. He played 8 games last season, scoring 2 goals. 4 appearances this season at a 6.53. He's getting worse and worse and worse. And if we sell him for £9 million, it's a £5 million profit. We will have to pay something like, I think, 25, 30 grand a week towards his wages. But it could be worse. We could have paid £50 million for him 5 years ago, like PSG did. Other than that, I'm going to try and hold on to all of my players. We are 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League table with a goal difference swing of plus 24 in our favour, which adds at least another point on, doesn't it? Really, Man United are going to have to get 8 more points than us from the remaining 13 games. And we've got some tough ones. We've got Arsenal away next. We've got Man United away. We've got Liverpool away towards the end of the season. But other than that, every other game is perfectly winnable. I mean, them 3 are winnable, but everything else is perfectly winnable as well. We're going to play through Arsenal, Rotherham, Leicester and Bournemouth. Then we've got the Champions League first knockout round, first leg away to Braga, and the League Cup final just a matter of days later. So that will be in the next episode, and then I'll decide from there where we're going to go. But like I said, that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you will join me again soon, and you'll subscribe and like and comment and all that stuff. But for now, thank you very much. Bye-bye.